Eyes front, Reb. Why begin something you ain't never gonna be let finish?
Like turning around?
Well, that's one of the for instances. I'll take that gun. And you keep your hands up where I can see them.
If this is a holdup, you're in for lean pickings.
Reb, business conditions are so fearful hereabouts that fellas in my line is taking to robbing each other just to keep in practice.
I'd sure be embarrassed to find out that wasn't a gun you had in my back.
Could be a lot more embarrassed if you make me prove it is. Now, down on the ground. I want your nose in the dirt. Oh. For all your book reading, Reb, you sure do learn slow.
Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Did Johnny Yuma, the rebel, he wandered alone. Johnny Yuma.
Excuse me, Sheriff, can you tell me where I can
Major
find...
Quincy Bannister.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Want a word with you, Bannister? I know you're only carrying out your brother's instructions, Asa. All the same, I'll have to ask you to take down these posters and withdraw the reward offer.
Why should I?
Why? $1,000 dead or alive, that's why. You know that's the same as issuing a lynching license?
Well, you want Newt Schofield caught, don't you?
Catching him is my job. That's why I was elected.
Elected, Sheriff? Now, you know it was my brother's endorsement that put you into office.
I took that office to serve the community, not just the Bannister family.
Well, we appreciate that, sir. Major just thought that posting this reward offer might help to expedite justice.
You call dead or alive justice? I call it premeditated murder.
Well, you'll remember this all started with a murder. And Mark Levacy only had one enemy, Newt Schofield.
You can't execute a man for motive alone. He's entitled to a trial.
You fairly rub a man raw, Dyson. I'll put it to you bluntly. Unless Newt Schofield is apprehended within 1 week, the Major will instigate impeachment proceedings against you.
All right, folks, let's get about our business.
Hey, sir. My name's Yuma, Johnny Yuma. Yuma. Oh, Johnny Yuma, yes. Well, sir, it's an honor and a pleasure. Well, thank you. I served under your brother at Gettysburg. Yes, the Major has spoken of your courage often. I can't tell you how much your letters have been appreciated since they brought the Major home. Well, you'll stay on here at Fair Oaks, of course. Well, thanks. You mind telling me something? That row back there with the sheriff, what was that all about? Noblesse Oblige, sir. You see, this town owes not only its name, but its very existence to my family. By this token, it is the responsibility of a Bannister, any Bannister, to do for the citizens what they are incapable of doing for themselves. You know, for a moment there, you sounded just like the Major. Did I now? Yeah. Well, I take that as a high compliment, sir. Gentlemen, both these garments and myself are unused to such indelicate handling.
Is that so? Well, you Bannisters better get used to a lot of things. You don't own the world no more.
I do own the right to choose my own company, though. And that excludes you.
You calling us dirt? You saying he's better company than we are?
Well, I think that question is worthy of an answer.
Ow!
What do you suppose that was all about?
Well, he sure didn't want you to run for mayor.
You've come a long distance, soldier, just to return a book.
Well, tell the truth, Major, I was kind of hoping you'd lend me another.
Sit down, Johnny.
Thank you, sir.
I gave this to Yuma the night before Gettysburg.
Everything you told me about style, economy, it's all there.
I remember. If you want to become a writer, I said, go to the masters. The trash they're marketing today. It drugs the mind, deadens the senses like this leg of mine. With time, even the brain becomes a useless appendage. That which is not exercised cannot long exist. Witness our current shame.
Shame, Major?
I allude to the South, sir. The disintegration of its social structure. A man being born to a station.
Well, I don't mean to argue, sir, but the war's changed a lot of people's stations.
Honor, Johnny. A man's honor and a man's integrity. These aren't surrendered along with his sword.
Was there ever such a paradox? You know, contemptuous as my brother is against the common herd, he himself is obsessively dedicated to advertising a product. The Bannister dynasty. Our fields lie idle while he invests our dwindling fortune in advertising this commodity. Don't you find that paradoxical?
Our sister Cassandra, Johnny, in superb form as usual. My dear, may I present Mr. Yuma? We served together at Gettysburg.
Ma'am?
Yes, Jim?
It's for the Major, sir. They've caught that Mr. Schofield.
Bring them in, Jeb.
Yes.
Willis Locker, Major Bannister. Him there, he's my friend, Mr. Kellogg. Howdy. We've come for the reward.
Listen, I weren't nowhere near Bannister when Leversey got his, and you never proved different neither.
Schofield, you've been in trouble ever since you came to this town. I'm not going to waste a citizen's time or money. There's another $500 in it for you if, when you turn the prisoner over to Sheriff Dyson, he's accompanied by a signed confession.
You better get started, Joe. It's a good ride into town. Come on, boy.
Excuse me, sir, but offering $500 to those bounty hunters, well, that's the same as asking them to torture confession from Schofield.
The man's guilty, Johnny. Why risk the possibility that through some loophole he might escape the gallows? Besides, if an investment of $1,500 can secure for the citizens of Bannister some guarantee of justice, it's a bargain price.
You just don't buy and sell justice.
You do if your name happens to be Bannister, Mr. Yuma.
Cassandra. I don't think...
You find that in there?
Yes, why?
Because it's mine. 2 nights ago, about 70 miles from here, I was held up. Whoever it was got away with this.
2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Quincy, that was the night that Leversey
Hold
was...
on. Johnny, you said whoever it was. I take it from that you did not see the bandit's face.
No, but maybe there's a way of knowing. The man who held me up had a scar on his left hand.
Ah. Asa, have Jeb hitch up the rig. You will then fetch Mr. Locker and Mr. Kellogg, along with their prisoner. I wish to examine Schofield's left hand.
No, it'd be better if I did it. It'd only take me a second to saddle up.
You're sure you can find the post road?
Yeah.
Quincy, they won't travel by way of the post road. It's 3 miles closer by way of Dundee's Ferry.
You're right, Asa. Now bring round the rig.
Still here, huh, boy?
Look, I've chased over half this county trying to catch up with him. I don't budge until I've seen the prisoner.
What for? He's already signed a confession.
And just how did those 2 bounty hunters get that confession?
Johnny, more than one man's died under Schofield's gun. He escapes the noose this time, and sure as sun up, more men will be added to the list. So when you come right down to it, what's it matter if he's guilty of Leversy's murder?
Convict the wrong man and the real killer goes free. I thought I heard you talking about justice this morning.
Justice. I fought the same war you did, and I came out of it with a couple of souvenirs. Empty pockets and a big hunger.
A lot of us were hungry.
You claim the man who held you up had a scar on the back of his left hand.
That's right.
Come on, Johnny. If Schofield's got no such scar, that pretty much washes up any alibi you could provide.
I can't see his hand.
Wouldn't much matter if you could. There was an accident when they were bringing him in. They're both pretty well smashed.
It looks fine, Mr. Kellogg.
Yeah. Take the sleeves in a little bit.
Well, let's do that.
One question. How did it happen?
The accident? It was while we were bringing Schofield into town. Milk Snake spooked his horse. She took off across the field and ran smack into a thrasher and dumped him. Somehow he got his hands caught in the blaze. That's sure gonna slow down his gun draw.
Just like hanging's gonna interfere with his breathing.
All right, Homer. I'll take it.
Fine.
Now let's see some hats, huh?
You're gonna have to do better than that in court. How Schofield, with both his hands tied behind him, managed to get him caught in a thrasher. And how a man with hands like that managed to sign a detailed confession.
If you're trying to call me a liar, mister, you're taking the long way around. Could be I misunderstood your meaning. Maybe you'd care to spell it out.
All right, I'll spell it out. Liar. L.
Liar! L-I-A-R!
No, leave him alone. Poor man's lost his way. Oh, aren't they beautiful?
Beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Purple rhododendrons. I just love them. I wouldn't be without them. I guess they're just about the only thing that the war couldn't touch. Did you know I was a victim of the war, Mr. Yuma?
A victim?
Oh, my, yes. The same war that crippled Brother Quincy, it also wounded me.
I don't understand.
In every military engagement, my future hopes were whittled away. There was less and less remaining of the flower of Southern aristocracy. In each of these losses, I suffered personally.
I guess we all gave something to the war, Miss Bannister.
Indeed, we did. You see before you an aging spinster, restricted by the Bannister name.
I don't know why you're telling me this.
Well, I like to talk, Mr. Yuma. Most every veteran does. I feel I've earned my medals. And, well, all I ask is an occasional chance to display them. Well,
Well, Johnny, I understand you've been making yourself unpopular in town.
Asking a few questions, that's all.
Is it really any of your business?
Probably not. I guess I'm just sort of like a fellow with an itch. Nothing short of scratching that's gonna make me happy.
Well, you ought to exercise a little self-control. Might be healthier in the long run.
That'll be enough of that, Asa. Johnny, if Schofield didn't kill Leversey, who did?
I don't know. But I do know this. Leversey's strongbox was found on the table, but it wasn't even touched. Now, that just doesn't jive with Schofield's character.
Oh, the devil with his character. Sheriff Dyson has failed to produce one shred of evidence pointing at anyone else.
Well, then there must be someone else who had a motive. I don't believe the man's been born who's made only one enemy. You can help, Major.
Aye, Johnny. How?
Well, they told me in town that Leversey rented one of your stores. They told me if I wanted to look it over, I'd have to get the keys from you.
Well, this is ridiculous, prowling through the personal effects of a dead man. Next thing, he'll be wanting to exhume the body. I say no.
Now, why should you object?
No, Asa. Johnny's right. If there's anything of an incriminating nature to be uncovered, by all means, it should be brought to light. You have Jeb hitch up the rig.
All right. Whatever you say, Quincy.
I thought Leversey was a bachelor.
So he was.
Well, this place looks like a woman fixed it up. Maybe that's our answer.
Well, to my knowledge, Leversey never was much of a ladies' man.
One lady's all we need.
Have you any idea what you're looking for, Johnny?
No, but I'll know when I find it.
Quincy, earlier today, Johnny and I were talking, and, well, he said something that was kind of interesting about Fair Oaks.
Yes, Asa.
Well, some of the other landowners, you know, men same fix as we are, with no hands to tend the field.
Go on, Asa.
Well, they've taken to tenant farming. And I thought...
No, Asa. Subdividing Fair Oaks would be not only a defilement and desecration, but the yielding of virtually everything that the name of Bannister stands for. Find something, Johnny?
Some letters. They look like love letters. At least they're in a woman's handwriting.
Johnny, wait a moment. Do you want to muddy the good name of some woman just to save the life of that worthless trash?
If there's any dirt on her name, it's because she put it there. They are love letters.
There's no signature.
Afraid you're wrong, Asa.
Rhododendron.
I should have known the truth when Schofield got to the jail with his hand mangled. I probably would have, too, if it hadn't been you, Major. Nobody else knew the scar would clear him. Only the Bannisters. She wanted to marry him, was that it? He turned her down and then she shot him?
No, Johnny. It was the other way around. He wanted to marry Cassandra, which was out of the question, of course.
Because it was part of the common herd?
Johnny, like Mark Leversey, you're a stubborn man. When I wouldn't sanction their marriage, he said they would elope without my permission.
All along, I thought it was Cassandra who shot Leversey.
No, Asa. As head of the family, it was my responsibility. I'm sorry, soldier. I'm sorry it has to be this way. I'm really going to miss your letters.
Quincy, don't.
30,000 men were lost. Killed, wounded, or missing in action at Gettysburg. The fact that Johnny Yuma was not among that number is a minor miracle. Let us say the enchantment of that miracle has finally expired. Stand off, Asa. Whatever your feelings, you're a Bannister.
The wrong men died at Gettysburg. All I ever wanted was somebody to love. I didn't think that was asking too much.
I let Schofield go. I told him he was lucky you weren't pressing charges for robbery.
I wouldn't say he was so lucky.
Sheriff? What about Cassandra?
If it weren't for her, Johnny'd be staying on as a permanent resident of our cemetery.
Asa. Quincy thought he was protecting the name of Bannister.
No, Johnny. He was protecting a way of life that was already dead. I'm subdividing Fair Oaks for tenant farming. It'd be good for the town. And good for Fair Oaks.
Out of a handful of ashes sown into a valley of pain. Seedlings of hope, a new life ordained. You mind if I keep this?
Belongs to you, Johnny.
Thanks.
Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Did Johnny Yuma, the rebel, he wandered alone. He got fighting mad, this rebel lad. He packed no stars, he wandered far where the only law was a hook and a draw. The rebel, Johnny Yuma, Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Did Johnny Yuma, the rebel, he wandered alone. He searched the land, this restless lad. He was panther quick and leather tough. If he figured that he'd been pushed enough, the rebel, Johnny Yuma,